2022, it is 2024, and the Russians are re-attacking Kharkiv. So let's first start off with the geolocated images and photos, and then we'll get into what may be happening here. So let's first start off with the photos of destroyed Russian vehicles. Obviously, that's going to happen. I believe everybody was expecting that. According to the pro-Ukrainian map Deep State, it actually happened right outside this Ukrainian village over here. But according to when a pro-Russian mapper actually did the geolocations where the trees lined up and everything, it was actually right outside the Ukraine-Russian border. Over here, it's around 0.1 kilometers outside. Also, according to Deep State, the Russians managed to capture this village actually a few days ago, and they've just been freely walking around in the village. And that's common for towns right by each other, especially in different countries. See, this town's under Russian control, this town's under Ukrainian control. So all really the Ukrainians have to do is just walk over to that town. It would be very dumb for the Ukrainians to have defenses in the towns right by the Russian border, and the reason being is because that causes unnecessary loss of life. Usually what you'll see in militaries do, they will have buffer zones, and then they will have the dragon's teeth, the ditches, and then it comes up to their fortifications. Now probably these fortifications will be found somewhere over here, since M777 howitzer was caught and destroyed over here. But if you actually look at this footage, look at that. That is very good landscapes for enemy troops to hide in, enemy artillery, enemy tanks to hide in. So the Ukrainians have the advantage on the landscapes over there. Let's move over here. Also, pro-Russian military bloggers Unreliable claim that the Russians captured that, waiting for geolocated images to confirm or deny that. Also, pro-Ukraine Russian military bloggers claim that the Russians captured this. Again, there's no geolocations for it. This is a video of the Ukrainian soldier basically telling the people to evacuate. There's evacuation going on in the city. The Russians are bombing the city. As you can see, the devastation of this city. It's going on again. It's happening again. It's like the beginning of 2022. Not in as much bombs that are being dropped, but this is just the first day. So let's see what happens. So that's basically right now all we know. We don't know if it's going to be a full-scale offensive. According to Zelensky, this is actually a full-scale Russian offensive. Some people are saying their goal is Kharkiv. Some people are saying what the Russians are trying to do, they are trying to block off the Ukrainians here and force all these Ukrainians over here to basically retreat or be encircled. Some people are saying they're just trying to make a buffer zone so the Ukrainians can't do any more border incursions. And others are really just saying this is just raids and just not going to lead to anything. Honestly, at this time, no one really 100% knows, unless the Russians, Ukrainians, or probably Western intelligence out there, what is going on. So with this stuff going on, like Wagner's coup, people were making videos about what would happen afterwards, and it ended in a day. So we actually have to give some time, probably a day or 2 or 3, to actually see if Russia's actually trying to make this an offensive. There are 2 standpoints that you can take when thinking of the Russian offensive in Kharkiv, and I'll just give you guys those. The first one you can take is that the Russians did not take Kharkiv the first time. They're not going to take it this time. The Ukrainians will prepare. The Ukrainians have very good trenches here. If you've seen, this was a couple weeks ago, Zelensky visiting the trenches in these regions. They're very good trenches. So the Ukrainians are prepared. The Ukrainians were unprepared last time, and the Russians were unable to do it. And the other standpoint you can look at and take, if you want to, is that the Russians are a way better military nowadays than they were before, and since the failed Ukrainian summer offensive, Ukraine is stronger than it was before the beginning of the war, but according to some people and what some may argue, weaker than what they were in 2023 during the counteroffensive. So especially with Western aid coming but not there yet, this may be Russia's attempt just to gain as much before Western aid comes. I don't know. If this was Western troops coming into Ukraine, that'd be something different. But the aid's really not going to... It could stop the Russians, but it's probably not going to change the battlefield in the importance that the Russians would try to do something crazy to go after Kharkiv just because the Western aid is going to arrive and they want as much ground before that. So I'll keep you guys updated. In about probably 2 days, we'll know a little more about what's going on. Again, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Thanks. Bye.